So the reason that your job makes you so tired isn't what you think. For many people, without realizing it, their job or the people that they work with or their boss is their biggest source of stress. And without realizing it, this is probably what's making you tired. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's not the job itself, it's the people, or more accurately, the person you think you need to be to do the job. This is a big realization, and I'm going to explain this in this video so that you no longer get tired in your job. You no longer come home completely exhausted at 5 o'clock. And the beautiful thing about this is all you need to do is shift your attention. So the truth is most people don't like their jobs. And I'm not going to be saying in this video something like, just be grateful you have a job, or just love your job, or just find ways to love your job. No, I'm very aware that the reality is that a lot of people are working long hours for people that they really don't like, doing jobs that really suck. And there's a few things about that, right? Firstly, if it's really that bad, then yeah, you need to change jobs. But for the meantime, you know that you've got to play a role and you've got to go to the job and actually be someone. And that's what's tiring. It's the role that you think you need to play. What makes you tired is this constant micromanaging of trying to be somebody you're not. That's it. The job itself is probably quite easy, probably quite boring maybe, but it's probably all of the small talk or being someone you're not in front of your boss that's making you tired. But it's important to understand why that makes you tired. And to understand this, we have to understand something I talk about a lot on this channel, and that's ambivalence, or the mental tug of war in your mind. When you're around your boss or your colleagues, you're constantly asking, shall I say this? Shall I not say this? Now, maybe consciously you're not thinking that, but unconsciously this tug of war is going on a lot, and it makes you tired because you're fighting yourself. Because what it's doing is it's wearing down your willpower. And all willpower is, when we think about what actually willpower is, let's say you've got a cookie in front of you. What makes you tired is the questioning, shall I eat the cookie? Shall I eat the cookie? Shall I eat the cookie? No, you shouldn't eat the cookie because you don't want to get fat and you don't want to get sluggish. Oh, maybe I should eat the cookie. Maybe I shouldn't eat the cookie. This backwards and forwards in your mind is actually making you tired. So how does this relate to being around people at work? It's the constant questioning, shall I say this? Shall I not say this? That's why if you are just yourself at work, then you won't get tired. But we know that when you're at work, you have to play a professional role. I noticed this from working in a school in England. I'd go home at 5 o'clock so tired, and I wasn't physically tired, I was just mentally drained. And what I realized was I was constantly making decisions. Shall I punish them for that? Shall I not punish them for that? Is that being too harsh? Is that not being too harsh? I was in this battle constantly making these decisions all day, from 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. All day, couldn't escape. You don't have a break. And then you go to the staff room and then you have to play a professional role around other teachers. Everybody's treading on eggshells. It's extremely exhausting. So what's the answer? What am I getting at here? So the first thing is you have to understand what's going on in the brain. That's the first step. You have to be aware. That's why watching this video is so powerful. So please like and subscribe if this is helpful. Comment below if this is something that you've experienced. Comment below where you've been in your job and it's made you tired because you have to play some professional role. It's that decision-making fatigue, that constantly not being yourself. Have you experienced that? Comment below. I'd like to hear about that. So how do we overcome this? Well, meditation is really powerful. Getting present and noticing the tension in the body also, because really it's the resistance to feeling. When you notice that conflict, you're much more likely to just let things go, and you're much more likely to let the conflict come up and deal with it as it comes. A lot of this is the anticipation. The stress is the anticipation of this. So it's not necessarily the thoughts in the moment. It's the feeling of not being in control. But the truth is, it's the resistance to that. That's not the issue. The feeling of not being in control is the stress. That really stress is the resistance because you don't want to face it. You know, okay, let's use the teacher example again. You're stressed because you know that you've got a class in the afternoon that are really naughty. And you're thinking, can I control them? Can I not control them? That's the resistance. And you say, well, I'll deal with it in the moment. That's how you deal with that stress. And that's how life is. Because most things in life are these future projections that we're wasting energy on. And we're trying to figure it out when we have no control. That's what's making us tired. So I noticed this, that when I was calm and I noticed, where's this resistance? What do I want to happen? What do I not want to happen? And just that alone, that's how I dealt with my colleagues. I know I'm going to have this real painful small talk when I get to the staff room. I know that that's going to happen and I'm anticipating it. And then I can also almost enjoy that resistance, almost enjoy and sort of play that role, but in sort of parody of myself. That helped. But if you have days where you don't feel like it, you've got to accept that. But there's going to be days, yeah, you're going to be tired. Working makes you tired. But it's not the job itself. It's the resistance to the social pressure and the not need and the pressure to not be able to be yourself. But what does that mean, not be yourself? When you're playing a role, when you're resisting in life, it's tiring. That's why letting go is so powerful. So remember, anticipate these conflicts. Anticipate it. Be ready. Be ready for let's say you work in a school, and I think it's a great example. Be ready for when the children are going to be like being rude to you or doing things that you know is going to stress you out. It's when it takes you by surprise, that's when it wears you out. Because in the moment, then you have to make a decision. Take a step back from all of this. Take a deep breath. Obviously, take a deep breath and notice the resistance inside. If that makes sense, I hope it does. It's a bit of a strange one, right? But this internal tug of war is really affecting a lot of people. It's the reason we put things off. It's the reason we sabotage. It's the reason we procrastinate. Because we're not reconciling this internal conflict, this ambivalence inside of us. And it just comes up in this tension in our body. So if that helps, again, please like, subscribe to the channel. More videos like this, and see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.